We saw some of that yesterday, didn't we? When Congressman Paul Ryan in the House of Representatives introduced his budget, his vision of what America should look like. What is it? Well, it's a budget that cuts back on some basic things. Let me tell you one thing that the Ryan budget cuts back on that everybody listening to this debate ought to take note of. The Ryan budget cuts domestic discretionary spending for medical research. Medical research. Seriously. Today happens to be World Autism Awareness Day. Do you know a family with an autistic child? Do you have any idea what they're going through? I know a few. Sadly, the number of people suffering from autism and the autism spectrum of disorder seems to be growing by the day. And you look at these families struggling to give their son or daughter a chance, and you think to yourself, if we only knew a little bit more about this disease, if we only knew a little bit more about the human brain, if we only could see this coming and do something to avoid it, if we could find a way to treat it, what a difference it would make for all of these families on World Autism Awareness Day. The answer from Congressman Ryan is cut back on medical research. That's not the answer. It's not the answer for any of us. God forbid you go to the doctor's office tomorrow with a child and the doctor tells you something awful has happened. But you know the first question you ask, doctor, is there something you can do? Is there a medicine? Is there a procedure? How many families have been in that position where they've asked that question, praying to God the answer is yes? The answer will not be yes when we cut back with medical research. The answer is going to be no. That's why we have to really reflect on our priorities, not only in Congress, but in elections. If we're going to let people take over the American political scene through the Citizens United case across the street or the McCutcheon case, which was decided today, we are going to turn our government over to people who are totally out of touch with the reality of American families and American working families. That would be a serious mistake.